Hello guys, welcome to the final episode in this series. So in this video I will show you guys how to fix the sleeve, how to make the sleeve and how to fix them. So now the first thing we are going to be cutting is our ST. So I'm putting ST in the sleeve head part and in the wrist part. So now I'm just going to place my ST, fold into two, and trace the sleeve head, trace the ST with the cutting of the sleeve head as the top of the sleeve. So you're going to place yours like so, and you cut it out. Now so you can see I've cut it out. So now the next step is to press this. So now I'll place the ST that I have cut out and give it a good press with my iron, and I'll make sure that this sticks to the fabric. You like to you want to take your time when doing this and press this over and over again. Make sure that all the gum stays stick to the fabric. So now after pressing this, I'm going to apply fusing at the wrist and the sleeve vent. So I'll cut about 2 inches wide ST and long enough to cover all the places that I want to go. So now firstly I'll place it this way and press it. I'm going to cut the other ST and cut the SSs, and now I'll cut a short piece of ST and place it at this point. So now this I'm going to gum it at this other part, and now make sure you give your ST a good press, because you want the gum to stick to the fabric so well that it doesn't pull off or something. Now I'm done gumming this one, so now the next thing to do is to gum the other parts. Now, like the same way I gummed the first one, you are going to place your fusing. If you can see the way I did the other one, so you're just going to do the same thing in this second part of the sleeve. Okay, so now you're going to place your fusing like this and press it. Okay, if you haven't watched my video on how to cut sleeve, I have a link in the description box, so do well to go and check that video. And this is the final part of this series, so it's a long series. There is part 1, part 2, part 3 and part 4. So if you haven't watched the video, do well to check it out and be blessed. So now I will I will make sure that this sticks to the fabric, like I did the first one. Make sure I stitch it, I gum it so well that it doesn't pull off. Now I will do the same thing I did in the last part in the first sleeve. I'm going to place about 2-inch wide fusing, gum it this point and gum it at the vent. Now, like I said, you make sure that this sticks very well. Then I'll place this small one like I did like the last in the last part of the sleeve in the first part. So now I will make sure that this stays. You should take your time when doing this. You want the fusing to stay to the fabric. Okay, so this is how you do it. You take your time and make sure that all parts of the fusing has come properly. So now I'll be trimming the excesses. So I will just cut out all the SSM ST. I'm going to cut them out, and all the parts that has SSST. So I'll just trim it out. So I'm done trimming. I'm going to place my I'm going to place the two fabric like this, and I'm going to come down around 2 inches. Okay, so you can see I marked 2 inches. So now after marking that 2 inches, I'm going to fold it. So this is the allowance I had when I was cutting. So I added 2 inches allowance as the wrist parts for this folding allowance. So now I will fold this like so and give it a good press. Now I'm going to turn it at the other side and fold this. Now since I've already measured the 2 inches, no need to measure in this one. Since it's aligned, I will just fold it. But if just to be on the safer side, you can just measure your 2 inches like so, and just to avoid mistakes. And you're going to fold this part like this. If you want, you can see this, that place, the place that I pointed my finger. Take note of that part. That is very important when you're ironing this part. You can see how I folded it at that point. And you just follow it the way I cut the vent. I take it in a little bit. So just follow that step, and I'll do the same at this other side. Fold it following the way I folded the other part like this. Now you just press this, and now I'm going to be ironing this. There is this vertical stitch I'll be making, so take note of how I did this part. You can see how I spreaded it. So you just do yours like this, how I made it like, because I'm creating a crease at that point. So that is the line that my iron make. That is the line I'll be stitching to give me this that and slant stitch. Okay, I don't know if you understand, but now take note of how I'm doing it. You can see how I open it, then I spread it like so. You can see how I'm doing it. Okay, I just wanted to take your time when doing this. This is very important. You can see how I spread it, and now I create like a square shape something, but there is going to be a slant stitch that I'll be making at this point. Okay, so I'll show you guys my machine what I really mean. Now after I'm done pressing this, I hope you understand this part because this is very important. I didn't have better explanation for this, but just follow the way I did mine, and we are good to go. So now I'll be gumming this under sleeve. So I'll cut ST. Now no much gumming in this, is just at the down part of the sleeve, and cut an ST wide enough to fit in the wrist. So now I'm going to fuse it and cut every excess. So now after pressing this part, I'm going to turn it at the other part and apply ST again like I did in the first part. Thank you guys for watching my video. Please like, share this video, subscribe to this channel, and I'll be releasing more and more videos for you. So now after fusing everything, after putting your fusing the 2 inches I measured at the first at the top part of the sleeve, I'm going to measure that same 2 inches here. Okay, make sure you're trimming all those excesses. You can see how I'm trimming it. I take note of that. That is very important. So now I'm going to measure that same 2 inches like I did in the other one. I'm going to mark 2 inches, then fold it with my iron. You can see what I did there, just like the first part, how I folded 2 inches. That is how you will do this one also. Now, following the way I folded the first part, I will do the same like this. So you can as well measure the 2 inches again, but if you can do it this way, then that's still okay. So now I'm done pressing this, and I'll be cutting my lining next. So now you're going to fold your lining like this. You're going to fold your lining, place it the way you want it to be. Give it a light pressing, not with low heat iron. Okay, so just to straighten the lining and make it easier for you to cut the lining of the sleeve. So now you're going to place this part of the sleeve like this, and cut the lining out. Okay, so you're going to cut the lining out. Now take note of how I'm cutting it. I first cut this part, and nothing hard here, just trace the the main board, the fabric, sorry, the main sleeve on top of the lining. And at this top part, you're going to add around ½ inch. Okay, we're going to add ½ inch. So that ½ inch is very important. Okay, so you're going to add ½ inch. You can see how I added it at the top. I'll do the same at the under sleeve. So now I'm going to arrange my lining for this under sleeve. Now like I did in the last part, the first cutting, so I will fold my lining into two, like so. You can see how I folded it. I'll fold my lining into two and place my my under sleeve on top of this. So now you can see I'm cutting it. I'm going to still add that ½ inch allowance the way I did on the top sleeve. I'm going to add that ½ inch allowance at this one also. So you're just going to cut it out like so, and now when you get to this point, you can see when you get to this point, you're going to fold it like this, then cut it straight down. Okay, take note of that. That is very important. So now the next step now is to stitch this sleeve. Now this place that I ironed, I will show you guys why I ironed it like so. That place, you can see now the way I ironed it, I created a crease, like a slant line. So that is the line, the line that I created with my iron. That is the line I'll be stitching. If you take note of how I ironed this part when I was ironing the top sleeve, so that is the line that I created. That is the line I will be stitching. And now after stitching this, I'm going to cut these excesses, and I will show you the result after stitching. So now I will do the same on this other one. From the line that I made with my iron, I'm going to stitch them together. Okay, the way I am flattening it, it creates a crease under with my iron. So that line that I made with my iron, that is the line I will be following and stitching this. So this is how it looks. You can see it. This is how it looks when I'm done. So now I'm going to stitch this under sleeve. So this is simple. You just fold this part of this at the vent and stop it where the folding stop. So now after stopping it there, you're going to create a notch. I will do the same at this other part. Fold it the way I folded it. I'm going to place it the way the folding is, and start stitching from start stitching the way I have folded it. Okay, hope you understand. Now I will create a notch. Now after doing that, I will go ahead and press all this. So I have pressed it, and now I will be stitching them together. Now this is very important, a very important part of this sleeves. Now I'm taking note of how I'm placing this. You make sure that the vents are aligned before stitching. You can see I'm placing it, so do yours like so. Make sure that you have aligned the vent like so, and when it's aligned, okay, you cross check it over and over again if it's aligned. When it's aligned, you pin it with your hand and start stitching from this point. Start stitching from here. You can see I'm still cross checking it. This is very important. You can do some temporary stitch just to hold it for you, but if you can pin it down with your hand, it's still okay. So now you start stitching from this point and stitch yours like so. Do it this way and you are good to go. So now I'm stitching around half inch. Make sure it doesn't go more than half inch. I stitch around half inch for this. So do yours like so, and that's how you do it. Now you create a notch at this point. You can see the notch I created. You can see now how balanced it is. So now the next step is to iron this, and that's it. So now I think I'll be stitching the lining now together. I'll be joining the lining. Now when you are doing this, you're going to differentiate your front and back. I didn't mark mine because I know which is which. So if you don't know which one, you can use your chalk and differentiate the left from the right. Okay, let's you sew two left or two right hand or two right sleeve. So you start stitching from this point, stitches down, and this will help you. You can see how I'm stitching it. One started from the down with the under sleeve on top, so the other part will start from the top. You can see. So this is how I'll differentiate my left and the right. So if you can't differentiate yours like this, you can mark with your chalk and know which parts is for which line is for. Okay, you shall get it. So now my thread finished, so I'm done stitching. Now I will give this a good press. Okay, so now the next thing I'll be doing is to iron this side that I joined. Firstly, I'm going to iron it at the iron the seam you made. You're going to give this a very good press. Make sure that you iron the seam first. So this is very important. Make sure you're ironing the seam first. So now I'm just going to open this. I'm just going to press open. So my camera wasn't visible at this point, so but I'm going to press open at first. Just take your time when doing this. It's a process, so You're going to press open it, then you turn it at the front part and iron. Thank you guys for watching this video. Please like, share, comment. If there's a part you don't understand in this video, please do well to leave a comment and and I'll be ready to answer you. So thank you guys for watching. Now I'm done iron the first sleeve, so I will do the same at the second. The side that I joined, I'm going to iron it. I'm going to iron that seam properly and press open it. So this video has part 1, part 2, part 3, part 4. This is the final part, and if you haven't watched those parts, you missed a lot. So just go to my channel and check for that video, and bless as you watch. So now I'll iron it at the top, then press this properly. You can see. So now that I'm done ironing, I'm going to stitch my lining to the sleeve. So I'm just pressing my lining, and you have to press the seam that you stitched the way you did on the main fabric. Okay, you are going to press the seam you made. Now the next step is stitching it. Okay, sorry, my camera shaked a little bit at this point, so sorry for that. Now you're going to place your lining like this. You are going to differentiate the left and the right. Okay, this is very important. So just know how if the shape of the main fabric fits the shape of the lining, and that you will know which is the left and the right. So you are going to place it like this and start stitching from this point, leaving a gap for the joining. Now when you stitch, you are going to stop at a point here and skip the vent part, the stitches at the vent part, because you wouldn't want to stitch that part. Yeah, you just jump that part and start stitching from the other side. So this is what I mean. You can see this is the result you get when you do yours like so. Now I'll be joining this. I'll be joining this, stitching around ½ inch. So you can as well measure your round sleeve and cross check the measurements if it's the way you want it. So now I will stitch this down to the armhole parts and do the same at the lining. Going to start my stitch from this sleeve point, stitching to the armhole part. So now you can see, now I will just lock this place. Okay, I'm just going to do it like this and lock it. And can see how I did this. Just going to lock the sleeve and hold it together like this so it doesn't come off. Now I'll do the same on the other sleeve. So I didn't show the parts of the swim since you watched it in the first part, so I wanted to show you something important. I'm going to leave like a gap in this other sleeve. Okay, this is the finishing hole, and I'll be closing all the stitches. This will be the finish hole that I will use to close all the stitches inside of the suit. So now I'm going to press this sleeve. So now this is the pressing, and yeah, firstly you're going to iron the seam you've made. You're going to press it and then you open it. Okay, now after press opening this, you are going to turn it like so. You're going to turn it like so and arrange the lining inside. Then you press it like this. Now when doing this, you make sure you balance every part of the sleeve. So now if you take note, you can see how I'm balancing it. Okay, make sure you balance this because you've turned it on the inside out, so you will make sure that everything is flat as it should be. So yeah, just going to give this a very good press. Take your time when doing this. So you can see how I have I lie it flat. I just want to make sure that everything is as flat as possible. So adjusting it, pressing it over and over again. Now just follow the step and you're good to go. So now you can see how flat it is. I took my time when I doing this. So make sure you take your time. Now we are going to be fixing this sleeve to the body. Now I'm going to measure the total armhole of the body. You're just going to round your tape around the armhole. Going to round your tape around the armhole, and the total circumference is around 21. So I'm going to measure this also. Now the sleeve armhole should be bigger than the armhole of the body. Okay, it should be bigger than the armhole of the body. Why it should be bigger? Because of the gathers you'll be making, the shaping you'll be making. Okay, that's is for the sleeve head. That will help the sleeve head come out better. So now if yours is not wide enough, so there's always room for trimming and alteration. Just trim it a little bit and make sure it's not more than 2 inches bigger than the armhole of the body, to avoid a rough look in the sleeve head. So now I'm going to be creating that gathers that like I said. I'm going to start at this point, like a very tiny stitches I'm making, so tiny, around almost 0.25 of an inch wide. So I'll be doing this around the armhole, sorry, the around the sleeve head. And this is very important because this is the whole process. This is an important process when you're making the sleeve head. So just take your time when doing this and don't rush it. Just do it one stitch at a time. So you can see I'm stitching around. So you use like so. So now after creating that gathers, so after stitching it, you create the gathers before you lock it. So I'm still stitching it. I haven't reached the point that I want it to be. So now we stop at this point. Okay, we stop at this point. You can see where my hand is, so that is where you are going to stop yours. So just do it like that, and now it's time to create the gathers before I lock the thread. So I will create the gathers. Now this is where this is a very important part because this help in building the sleeve head. So you can see I've created mine. So I just want it to be a simple, not much sleeve head coming out. So I just want it to just be normal sleeve head. You can see in the main beginning of the video how the sleeve head is. So this is how I did it. So now after I adjusted the way I want it to be, I'm going to lock it at this point. So now the next step is pressing this. Now you are going to place it like this. All the guidance that you have created, you are going to press it with your iron. Apply water if necessary and press this. So now I would also do this around all the the gathers that I made and press it. So this will help. This will prevent it from having um gathers when you're fixing. So to just be the sleeve head coming out. So now I'm going to attach the sleeve to the body. Now there's still room for trimming. If it's now smaller than the main body, you can still trim it. Okay. So now I will fix the sleeve to the body. I'm going to mark around 1 inch at this point. So you can see how I lay flat the jacket. I'm going to mark around 1 inch. So that is the 1 inch. And now I will base the sleeve to the body. Now why I like basting it, some people they might just sew it around. Yes, that is still, but I would like to baste it first. Now that chalk I mark is the joining at the side, that it should align with the chalk that I marked. So that's why I marked that chalk. So now back to what I was saying. Why I like basting it first, because there is room for adjustment. If the sleeve is not positioned properly, you can still lose the basting and we baste it again. Make sure that the sleeve is positioned properly. If the sleeve is not positioned properly, one sleeve might go forward and the other going backward. One sleeve might be normal or the other two forward. So now I'm going to base this around. This doesn't have to be as tiny as the way I did this gather, so just wide enough to hold the sleeve to the body. So now this, you are going to do this around the sleeve. I want to mix this together to the body. So now take your time when doing this. You guys for watching my video. I really appreciate. Please like, share, comment. Let me know what you think about this video, and I'm releasing more video on this channel. This is just the beginning, and this is the beginning of more video. Please like, share, comment, and let me know what you think about this video in the comment section. And also hit the notification button so anytime I'm releasing a new video, you'll be notified. So now I will complete the basting around the armhole. You can see I'm positioning it. So you're going to position yours like so, and make sure that it's positioned the way it should be. You can see I'm adjusting it. You should take your time when doing this, and it's a process, so you don't have to rush it. So now I'm done basting. So you can see this is how it is. I'm just going to base the other part of the sleeve. So this is how it is. You can see now I will be stitching this. So mine is fixed properly, so you can see So now I'm going to be stitching this. Now I've basted the other parts of the sleeve. You can see the sleeve is already coming out even though I haven't fixed my shoulder pad yet. So you can see this is the result of the basting. So now I'll be stitching this round. Now I'm going to stitch my armhole. Now I'm going to stitch in around 1/2 inch. I'm going to be stitching around 1/2 inch round the armhole. So you are going to stitch this around the armhole. So it shouldn't be more than 1/2 inch or less, just 1/2 inch exactly, or between 0.3 to 1/2 inch, but it shouldn't be less than that. If it's less than that, the sleeve cap won't come out, and if it's more, to chop the sleeve cap or the shem gathers you have made. So let it be just that 1/2 inch or 0.3 of an inch. So now you can see how I'm stitching this. Just take your time when doing this, and it's a whole process, and you like to be patient on this. So now I'm done stitching this part. I will stitch the other parts, and then we'll go ahead fixing our sleeve head, the body for our sleeve head, and our shoulder pad. And like I said, it should be around 1/2 inch. Let me not more than 1/2 inch. So, and not less than 0.3 of an inch. So that is the measurement to be following when you're stitching your armhole. As the sleeve is already coming out, and you can see how simple it is to make this stuff. And and if you don't understand, go back and watch it over and over again. Watch it over and over again, because even me too, when I was learning this, it was something. So I took my time in learning it and mastering it. So now after I'm done stitching this armhole, I will be losing all those basting. Remember the basting that I made? So that will be trimmed. I'm sorry, that will be loosed from the sleeve. We can see how it is. Now I'll be losing those basting that I made. It's a temporary stitch, so I will be needing to lose it around the armhole. So I will lose this other part to lose the stitch, the basting that I've done. I will lose it around this armhole. So now the next step is to iron my waddy for the sleeve head and my shoulder pad, fixing my shoulder pad. So now I'm going to, for the waddy, I'm going to be cutting it in a bias form. So like slantly, you can see how I slant it, cutting about 6 inches wide. Then I'm going to cut it 3 inches in between. Now I will fold it again with my iron. And now firstly, when I fold, like, and you know what, it has gum, so you know which part you are ironing, so you don't put iron in the gum part. But even though the gum doesn't stick to the cloth so well, but it does have gum. And now you can see after folding this, I curve my waddy like this. Why I'm able to curve it like this? Because I cut it in a bias form, so it will be easier to curve it like this. So now why I'm curving it, because it will help fitting in the sleeve properly and helping bringing out the sleeve head. So yes, or I can leave it straight, but when I curve it, it helps better. So now I'm done ironing this. I will be stitching this to the armhole. Now remember, so my camera shaked a little bit at this point. Yeah, so I'm just trying to adjust it. So now remember the gathers that I made when I was making the sleeve head, that is the sleeve cap, sorry. That gathers that I made, from I start at the point of the gathers and end at the point. So that is the same way I'll be stitching this waddy to the armhole, where I started the gathers from and where I ended it. Okay, that is what I'll be following. And this one, you're stitching is around 1/4 of an inch, not up to half inch, so you don't stitch it into the line you have stitched. And if at all you want it so close, you can do it at 1.3, if it only if you sew the stitches of your armhole is half inch, but it should be less than the stitches of the armhole, so you don't get it to the stitches that the first stitch you made. So now I will stitch this around the armhole, and now you can see how it is. If you follow this video from part 1, those that follow from part 1, I really appreciate. Thanks for watching. Thank you guys for following this channel. I really appreciate. Thank you guys for following. So now the next thing I'll be doing is to attach my shoulder pads. So now for the shoulder pad, there is a short part and there is a long part, so you are going to differentiate that through a notch that you will make. Okay, you can see the notch that I made. I will differentiate the left and the right shoulder of the shoulder pad. Now the short part is coming to the front, while the longer part to the back of the armhole. So that notch that I make, I will align that notch with the shoulder seam, so that I will differentiate which part is going to the front and the front and the back. So the short part to the front, the long part to the back. Don't put the long part to the front, because it will make your chest look rough and not in good form. So now I will just stitch it. Stitch the sleeve to the shoulder part to the armhole. Okay. So you can see now, just stitch yours like so, and you are good to go. I'll just show you guys in the other armhole. I think I added that to this video. So I'll just show you guys in the other parts. Now you can see the sleeve head, how it has come out. So that's the whole step. If you want to know how to make a sleeve head, this is it, and it's very easy, not so difficult here. Just take your time. Just take your time, and you get it right. So I will just fix the other shoulder pad, differentiate the front and the back. Long part, like I said, long part to the back and short part to the front. So now you start stitching. So wow, we can see the sleeve head. That is how you do your sleeve head, and you can see the results. You can see how neat it is. So just follow the same process and you are good to go. Now I'll just be turning the lining, and that is simple. If you follow from part 1, there is a notch that I made when I was fixing the front lining. So I'll show you guys the essence of that notch. This one. So firstly, you're going to balance your lining like this. You can see how I balance mine. Now the notch that I made, you can see, so the notch is there. I've made a notch, so this is the notch. So I'll follow the joining at this sleeve lining and start stitching around the armhole. So just follow that same process, stitching the notch to the joining of the side, align it together. That is the front part of the lining sleeve. Align it together and start stitching. Now this is the last part of stitching of this sleeve, and now you're going to cut so this is very important. You're going to cut a piece of fabric that you're going to place under this lining at the shoulder point. Okay, this is at the shoulder point. That is the shoulder seam. You are going to place it under. So I'm cutting it now. So why the work of this is to hold the lining and the body together, okay, at this shoulder area. So that is why I'm applying this. So now I'm going to place it under like this and stitch it. I'm going to place it under and stitch it, and that is the essence of this. It's very easy. Just place it under, on the stitch on top of it, and now this fabric that I've added will hold the lining and the body together in the shoulder area. So now I will just complete closing my armhole. I don't show the process of the other armhole, but this is enough for you to understand I hope so. But if you don't understand, you can go back and check the part you don't understand, and practice it till you perfect it. Okay, now I will just stitch this, completing the stitching, and we're almost done with the jacket. Wow, it's a long way from part one. For those that follow from part one, I really appreciate. Thank you for trusting me and learning from this video. It's a lot. So now I'm done stitching this. I will hold the, what is it called, the lining and the body together. You can see I'm balancing it. So I will, the fabric that I stitch, I'm going to find it inside, then hold it together. Okay, first you're going to turn it inside to the front part. So I'm going to hold it together and stitch it to the shoulder seam part. So okay, you can see how I'm holding it together. Now you're just going to stitch it together, and this is the final part. Nothing added. After this is ironing and removing all those basting threads. So now I will stitch this, and yeah, this is the final part. So now you can see the results of this jacket. I'll do the same at the other sleeve, and okay, you can see the sleeve here. You can look at how it came out. So thank you guys for watching this video. I really appreciate. For those that have watched from part one, God bless you. If you haven't watched, please do well to check the videos. It's a lot, man. It's a lot. I won't lie to you, it's a lot. Thank you guys for watching this video. So this is the finished results. I've pressed it, I've moved all those threads. So now this is the finished results. Thank you guys for watching. See you on my next video. Goodbye.